Shout out to Cats Pawd.
A big defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? We are back at it again, and you want to know who else is back? The hate watchers are back. The numbers on YouTube blew up last week. Thank you for all the views. But with the views come the negativity, and I was not having that last week. It was not good for my self-esteem. Not good at all, okay? Eric, how have you been?
Phenomenal, man. It's playoff football, and now is when I really start to shine, when I can fully release my hatred towards North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and the University of Montana.
Yeah.
I can talk crap about them and just get everything that I've been building up all season, out in the open for everyone to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just start this episode off right. Screw North Dakota State, screw South Dakota State, and screw the University of Montana, and go Bobcats.
Okay. That's a good start. If that didn't get the hate watchers out of the podcast, the retention numbers on some of those viewers is going to be real, real low. Or they'll just keep listening. I have no idea. And I don't care if they do listen. It's just, you got to know when you click on a podcast called The Cats Pod, and you see everything designed, you see everything in the background of the both of us, and they're like, why are these guys so biased? I'm like, I don't get it, dude. Yeah, we're going to have ridiculous takes. Whatever. It doesn't really matter that much.
We are professional grade podcasters. We know everything there is to know. We definitely see everything, from afar, non-biased. Definitely take everything we say to heart. I mean, really, it's all true.
Sam Herder, who? We are the two smartest people in FCS football. That's it. That's the truth of the matter, No, it's a lot of fun, and I love seeing the numbers go up, and I love seeing, and our Spotify Wrapped came out today, too, for the podcast, and huge growth numbers, so big thank you to everybody who listens to the podcast, and the podcasts truly are a great breed of people, because, I've had people that listen to this show hit me up after my daughter was born and congratulate me and stuff like that, and they reach out to us, and it's really, really cool. So focusing on those people is what I need to do to keep my self-esteem up,
Yeah, haters gonna hate, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
So first things first, we need Ben to give us the lowdown on the bracket challenge here.
Cats Pod.
Their names will drop here.
Names will drop. Hopefully everybody's name that we drop won't care, because usually I think we're only going to really drop names of people we know. Outside of the people that are at the top, because you were guaranteed. We said top three we're going to get a shout out on the podcast, but we have a top 6 that are all tied. So everybody in the top 6, we're going to rattle off those names. We got Brinkley Evans, Bailey, yours truly, Ben Christians, Cody Seckham, Riley Rivers, Wyatt Witchman, and we all missed one game. After 1 week of the FCS playoffs, the Cats Pod Bracket Challenge has no perfect brackets. It didn't take long.
I wonder who Wyatt Witchman has as his winner. I would bet that it's probably the Bobcats.
I would probably think that's a pretty safe bet. After the deadline, it wouldn't let me see anybody's brackets anymore. It locked all the brackets down after the deadline, so I can't even see anymore. A majority of people, we only had one person that picked NDSU, I know that, and we had one person that picked the Grizz. And that brings us to the more negative side of this bracket challenge, because there's a couple names at the bottom of the list that we got to bring up a little bit.
Yeah.
First off, Eric, your wife is at the bottom of this list. Brooke Lawver, what are you doing? Thank you for joining the bracket challenge. Thank you for trying, but you're at the bottom. And the other one is the only person who picked the Grizzlies to win the national championship, Keegan Woodhelm. Good friend of ours. You know, classic Grizz fan, just out of touch. You know.
The only one to pick the Grizz to win, and he just happens to be the worst bracket in the thing.
Yep. It's not going well, and the points do change round by round. So at this point, we can give everybody a hard time, but the top and the bottom are separated by 2 points, and each individual game is worth 2 points next week. So everything is going to change over these next few weeks. Everybody who submitted a bracket is still very much in this thing. It's not about picking the first round. It's really about picking those later rounds that's going to matter the most.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, that makes a nice little segue here into the first round.
Yep.
And I feel like there's 2 specific games that need to be brought up in this, because number one, the old Missouri Valley kind of lost a leg to stand on here.
Yeah, they had a hard week. Hard fought week for those guys.
Gave them a black eye. That was, I think, I would say, 75% of people watching that game honestly turned it off at halftime.
Oh, definitely. I stopped watching in the first quarter. I'm really not going to lie. I watched a little bit of the first quarter, and then I was like, there's way too many games going on right now. I'm going to switch games, see what else is going on. I was like, definitely wanted to check in on UND, so I started watching that one instead.
Yeah. Dude, Youngstown, they had like a 99.7% chance to win at one point in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, is that the definition of pissing it down your leg?
That's a bad second half. I've heard people compare it to the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl. Brings to mind a certain college football championship that Alabama won. Like, these are all-time meltdowns. These are terrible, terrible meltdowns. And Youngstown had everything under control, looked like absolute world beaters, and then just didn't show up in the second half. Crazy.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it like this, man. I think this comes down to 2 different coaches.
Yeah.
The Yale coach had his guys ready to rock and roll with a mindset of nothing is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And Youngstown, they let their foot off the gas. Actually, no, they were in drive and just jammed it into reverse while they were doing 65.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it
just
was crazy.
Bloated everything.
Just Jake breaking their way, or not Jake, Jay breaking their way, all the way down there.
I mean, there's really no excuse for that, and you have to give Yale literally all the credit there. They didn't give up on themselves, and their running back is a stud.
He's a stud.
Very good.
Yeah, he was listed as a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, so very good player. Their quarterback looked very good. That's a coach's kid, very well put together. Did not get down after having such a terrible first half and came back in it. And then they also had a wide receiver, Lucius Anderson, who was really effective on these jet sweeps. The whole time I was watching through the highlights and I was like, I don't know if that happens against the Cats, but he also seemed like a very fast dude that you got to keep an eye on.
Yeah. I mean, complete meltdown by Youngstown. But unfortunately for Yale, that's how that game will be labeled.
Yeah.
Youngstown pisses it down their leg.
Yeah. And Yale deserves a bunch of credit because they did it.
They
know.
Yeah. The next one is the second game that I think that we really needed to talk about. And this one I think might have implications going into future seasons with the Ivy League.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm obviously not a part of the playoff committee, but I'm pretty sure Harvard got in off of, they have the record. Oh, they, played some good teams, but they didn't win the Ivy League.
Mm-hmm.
Yale did, so they kind of gifted Harvard that playoff spot. And I kind of wonder with that showing, if that maybe happens again next year, if they look at the second Ivy League team that has just, kind of skating in off a record and, not really a ton of good wins.
Yeah.
If they kind of maybe look to a different team or something, because this was pathetic.
Yeah, it's
An
not
absolute
ideal.
drubbing.
Mm-hmm. And it's against a Villanova team that we didn't really have that high of hopes for. Like they have consistently been a playoff team, and they've won through to like the quarterfinals a few times, but it's not anybody that we'd ever be scared of. So when that team beats you 52-7, it looks bad.
Yeah, and I picked Harvard to win this game because they came in so highly touted, and I definitely hold grudges, so I'm a little pissed off at them right now because they were supposed to be good, and Villanova was supposed to just be a marginal team. They were seeded and everything, but I mean, dang, 52-7.
That's
what
crazy.
The heck?
Yeah, I think Yale saved the Ivy League's chances of ever getting two teams like in the playoffs again. Because if the Ivy League loses both these games, the way it looked like they were about to lose it in the first half with Youngstown, we were looking at, the Ivy's going to get one team. And that's it. End of story. You have to win the Ivy League to make the playoffs. But Yale coming back changes that whole narrative completely. So we'll see what happens next year. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. I will say, didn't watch a ton of this game either, considering it was a blowout.
Yeah.
But Villanova's quarterback's pretty good. That McQuaid, he's kind of a baller. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Or it seems maybe Harvard's defense is just that bad, but honestly, that McQuaid, he seems pretty good.
And that seems kind of like Villanova's story every year that they're in the playoffs. They have a good looking quarterback that can throw the ball pretty well and is fairly athletic, and that seems like that's kind of where the story ends, and that's the problem.
Yeah. But I mean, the story of the game was they had 319 rushing yards, and generally when you have that many rushing yards, you are going to win the football game.
Yeah, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah. 319 rushing yards, 48 attempts, 6.6 yards average per carry, and 4 touchdowns. I think that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, that usually ends up pretty good for you. Fairly well.
Yeah. Yeah. Boo Harvard.
Boo. We didn't like you guys already. I don't like any of those prestigious universities over there. Not that into it.
Central Connecticut, Rhode Island. Didn't watch any of this game. To be totally honest with you.
I feel so bad because one of the best FCS podcasts out there is Hack City, and they're roadie guys. And every time I listen to that podcast, I'm like, I gotta watch more Rhode Island. And then it comes to Saturday, and I just still don't. I feel bad about it, but I still don't watch them. I don't think that they're going to make a massive impact in the later parts of the round. So this just felt like a nothing game, in my opinion. They won. They handled business. They get to go on to the next round. I just don't have super high hopes for them, like semifinals or championship-wise, so I don't feel the need to pay attention to it.
I mean, in reality, this game was probably a little closer than it maybe should have been. Feel like Rhode Island probably should have beat them just a little more than they did because, I mean, in the fourth quarter, it was still an 8-point game at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And so, I don't know. Let's just say Rhode Island didn't necessarily give you a ton of hope for the future.
Did not inspire a whole lot of confidence, that's for sure.
Yeah. Not much.
Yeah.
Next up, Abilene Christian at Lamar. This one went kind of how I expected. Like Abilene Christian is actually a pretty decent football team. Lamar was mediocre, I think is a good way to put that. But Abilene Christian is just kind of good everywhere. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball. I think their rushing attack is kind of the, they didn't really light it up, but they still had 147 yards on the ground, which is in 2 touchdowns. That's pretty respectable.
That is very, very solid. After slandering Abilene Christian all year long, Eric Lauver just doing the full 180 when it comes to playoff time. I don't know. I expected them to win this game as well. There's not a whole lot to talk about for me here. The Lamar is not Lamar Jackson or Kendrick Lamar, so I don't have a whole lot of interest there. And yeah, I think Abilene Christian is a solid team, and I believe they have already played Stephen F. Austin this year, correct?
I think so. I mean, I don't have their schedule in front of me, but yes, I believe that they did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I believe that Stephen F. might have won that game.
Actually, they beat Stephen F. Austin 28-20 in the second week of the season. So this is a rematch where the underdog has already beat the higher-seeded team. So that is a very interesting game to pay attention to this week for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so Abilene Christian has a win against Stephen F. and a win against Tarleton.
Mm-hmm. They're a solid team. They're pretty darn good.
But, meh.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All roads lead to Bozeman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see Abilene or Stephen F. come to Bozeman.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Illinois State, Southeast Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
The final score is not indicative of what this game was. This game was close up until the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Illinois State didn't do much for 3 quarters of football.
No.
Really?
No, it was a super tight game. Everyone who was saying that Southeastern Louisiana's defense was going to match up really well with Illinois State, you were right. They did match up super well. Push came to shove in the fourth quarter. Illinois State handled business, and that's about it there.
Yeah, I mean, halfway through the third quarter, it was still 7-3.
Yeah.
So, Southeastern Louisiana just couldn't get anything going at any point in this game. Their defense, they had a good defensive game for the most part, though.
Yeah.
But Illinois State, Missouri Valley team, their road does not get any easier.
No, it in fact does not. It does not get any easier.
Yeah. North Dakota, Tennessee Tech, not much to talk about there other than
I was right. That's about it, you know.
You were, yes.
as well as everyone else in the world. They all picked UND. But I am big on these Fighting Hawks. I am high on the Hawks, and I am ready for them to make a serious run in these playoffs.
We'll talk a little more about it when we make our picks for this weekend, but I don't know that North Dakota can make any more noise without Kaminsky.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, you had to take the wind out of my sails, didn't you?
He's still in concussion protocol, so I mean that's something to monitor there because without him and running out a backup quarterback in the second round of the playoffs, that just isn't maybe the best recipe to win.
Yeah.
But man, there's a lot of games. You forget how many games there was till you start going through them all. Good Lord.
For sure.
South Dakota State manhandled New Hampshire, and Chase Mason looked good.
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
All of Missoula is sweating right now.
And he did not have to do like any running really. So, I mean, I don't even know how many rush yards did he even have?
I don't remember exactly. Let's see if it's on the short line.
None. He had none.
0.
So they did that without him even having to be mobile at all. So yeah, I would go ahead and say South Dakota State's back, like almost all the way back, and I think Chase Mason, got a good tune-up game, and now he's got another week of getting healthy without having to no setbacks or anything. So,
Yep.
yeah, South Dakota State's back.
Yeah. It looking very, very good.
South Dakota Drake rematch, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Same song, same ending.
Yeah. So not much to talk about with those last couple, just because they were pretty overmatched. But
yeah,
the next round is looking really fun though.
Yep.
Honestly. Villanova Lehigh is the first game I've got listed here.
Yep.
You would expect Lehigh to win this game, but Villanova kind of made a statement, right?
Mm-hmm. I think Villanova is a way better team than people are giving them credit for, and I think Lehigh is probably severely overrated. After last week and just with the history we have watching Villanova in the playoffs, and I mean, Lehigh was the team last year, though, that pulled off some upsets and made it further than they were expected to. So this is kind of a matchup of previous year's underdogs. And I don't want to pick either team necessarily, but I've got to roll with Villanova just because I like their basketball team. That's it.
I'm going to pick Lehigh because I think they have the better quarterback and maybe the more favorable matchup, maybe, I guess. And if I could be wrong, but I think that Lehigh running back has a lot of hype behind him too. That Yoder.
Yeah.
It's kind of a name you've seen quite a bit. I don't know, man. I'm gonna roll with Lehigh. And I talked a lot bad about Villanova pretty hardcore. And I think Villanova is going to show their true colors, and Lehigh's going to destroy them.
It could happen. This is definitely me changing lanes after week 1 of the playoffs because I definitely did pick Lehigh to win this game when we were doing our brackets. And I probably shouldn't take that first round game into account too much because they were playing against a team that looked not good at all. But I just kind of want to ride with Villanova for some reason. So just to disagree with you, I'll go Villanova.
I like it. We're not on the same page.
Nope.
And now, so South Dakota Mercer, this one I feel like is a little closer than I would have thought. At the beginning of the season, I would have told you that South Dakota was going to be insanely good. I think I said that. And now I'm kind of wondering what South Dakota truly is. I mean, they rattled off a really impressive string of wins here their last 5 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Put together quite a run, have a lot of steam. But Mercer, and the only reason I'm starting to question this matchup a little bit is because you see all these major awards come out. And Mercer has a lot of guys on those award lists, more than we do.
Yeah.
Their defensive front is supposed to be legit. And apparently, the voters for these awards agree.
Yeah. So
I feel like this game comes down to, can Aiden Bauman throw the ball?
That is pretty fair for this one. I really think it comes down to which South Dakota team are you going to see this week? Because South Dakota, like you said, has had some very impressive games this year. And they're on an impressive streak.
Yeah.
But when you look at these games, it's odd because they drop a game to Illinois State. Illinois State, who's also in the playoffs, not bad, but they struggled heavily with Southeastern Louisiana, did not look like world beaters by any means. And then they beat UND, who I'm very high on. They beat a hurt Jackrabbits. They needed 5 overtimes to beat Southern Illinois, so that feels like a regression game. And then they beat Drake that they've already played this year. So it's like, I don't know what to lean on when it comes to South Dakota. I don't know what to be confident in. I know they're a very good team because of the playoff game that we had with them last year in the semifinals. That was a very good team that we had to beat to get to the national championship. I just don't see the same kind of talent this year.
They lost a lot, last year, transfer portal-wise, graduation. It's a super different team. I mean, that running back they had that graduated was really good. But this LJ Phillips, this kid is legit too. I mean, he's got 1,600 rushing yards on the season, and I don't know. I've heard that this Fenner, this wide receiver, last name Fenner, is supposed to be extremely talented. So I feel like this is all going to fall on Aiden Bauman. Can he throw the ball effectively against a team that, I mean, that's kind of how you beat Mercer's, by throwing the ball on them. They're kind of susceptible to the pass. But dude, Mercer's quarterback, have you looked at his stats?
Yeah, they're stupid.
Oh my God.
They are absolutely
3,463 yards passing.
34 touchdowns.
I don't know, man. I picked South Dakota in the bracket, but I kind of want to pull a Ben Christians here and go with Mercer.
You want to flippity floppity? Welcome to the teeter totter.
How about this? I said it earlier. How about this? F the Dakotas. Mercer Bears are rolling.
Mercer Bears are rolling. I was just about to say, I wonder if this is the battle of which one of these teams is overhyped. Is Mercer's defense overhyped, or is South Dakota's offense overhyped? And is the real answer no one cares?
That is perfect. This is just another game that we have to get through to the ones that actually matter.
Yeah.
That's all this
it does feel like that, and that is terrible to say. And I know there's fans from like every single team that are really rooting these guys on, but it does feel like that at this moment, that this is just one of those games where it's like, okay, they're just going to get crushed in the next round.
So that brings us into North Dakota State, Illinois State, which is a good segue, Ben, because is this another game that, like, who really cares?
It's just who really cares, because I can't come up with any reason to believe in Illinois State, especially after the way they played last week. It was unimpressive. They pulled off the win at the very end, but they were shut down for a majority of the game. And if you're shut down by Southeastern Louisiana's defense, you're going to get very shut down by the Bison. That defense is a whole different level, and you got to be in that top tier if you're even going to be in a conversation with the Bison right now.
Yes. That being said, I do think there's a path here for Illinois State. And I'm going to tell you what this is. Okay? Bear with me, all right? This is the second time this season these two teams have faced each other. Illinois State is familiar with North Dakota State. Missouri Valley, they play each other a lot. The first game was close. Illinois State, they kind of had North Dakota State's number in the first half. Second half, North Dakota State kind of figured their defense out.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. North Dakota State. Oh, big North Dakota State. Oh, we're so good at football. Comes out really sleepy because they've had a whole week off. They think they're pretty big dogs, right? They think they do. They're going to come out cocky. They're going to be asleep at the wheel. They're going to start slow. Illinois State's going to be able to do a little something to them. But this time after half, Illinois State's going to flip that defense up a little bit. North Dakota State's going to have to re-game plan for them. And Illinois State could get them. I'm telling you.
Okay. I see
them in my bracket, but
I see a game plan for Illinois State to win this game. And this is what they need to do. They need to find a large quantity of illegal drugs. and they need to sneak it into the Fargo Dome and place it in North Dakota State's locker room and then call the cops. And I think that is the only way that they win this game.
Okay, fine. Maybe your plan's a little more logical than mine, but still.
It's super logical plan. Definitely the way you want to win this football game.
Yeah. If Illinois State's coach is listening, you didn't get that idea from us.
Just saying. Yeah, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah. So let's see. North Dakota, Tarleton State, Ben.
North Dakota, Tarleton State.
I feel like this 100% rests on whether Jerry Kaminsky is even going to play.
Yeah, that is a big part of it. It's the playoffs, but this concussion protocol is so hard to gauge whether or not they're going to get cleared to play or not. Seems like they've kind of taken it out of the players and the coach's hands, and he just has to pass the test. So that is hanging in the balance for sure.
I mean, either way, I can make if Tarleton State wins against Kaminsky, if Kaminsky plays, I get to say, yeah, but like he couldn't even he had double vision the whole time. You know,
Yep.
It's a cheap win, and if Kaminsky doesn't play and Tarleton State wins, they just cakewalk through a hurt team.
Mm-hmm.
This is a win-win for me.
Yeah.
I hate Tarleton State.
I don't know why you hate Tarleton State, but you do. Like,
Also,
is it because they're purple?
Does every team have to be purple in that conference?
I think it is a thing where they all have to be purple.
F. Austin, Abilene Christian, freaking Tarleton State. What's the Central Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
Do they all have to be purple? Is that like a bro Southern thing that I don't know about?
It's a cult. It's the purple people eaters. They get together and they all have their same teams, and well, everybody in Texas is pretty much the same, you know. So we'll see if my boss listens to the podcast. He's from Texas. He wouldn't like that comment.
But in reality, if North Dakota was healthy, I think that they would roll Tarleton.
Yeah,
they're a good team.
Mm-hmm. I think that Tarleton is set up for an upset. I think the Hawks look very good. Ever since I saw the bracket for the first time, I've thought that UND looks like a team that could be having a rematch with NDSU. But this is going to be a tough game for them if they do not have Kaminsky. That does change everything.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't even think this game is worth picking because if North Dakota doesn't have Kaminsky, like, they're toast.
Yeah.
And if they win, it is an incredible coaching job, to say the least.
I don't think they're necessarily toast just because of how well that UND's defense played when they played teams like NDSU, and they've had a lot of really quality games throughout the end of this season. They just have lost to some really good teams at the same time. It's hard to balance out North Dakota right now. Looking at their last 5 games, I don't know why I believe in them, but I just do.
Next up, the Battle of the Purple.
The Purple Battle.
The Purple Battle.
Mm-hmm.
Abilene Christian, Stephen F.
2 of your favorite teams.
Yeah, dude. I feel like one of them should have to like wear black and white instead of purple and white because there's just too much purple.
It's going to be a confusing game to watch for sure. You're not really going to be sure who's on which team, especially if they both wear like all purple helmets or something. I don't know what the fits look like for either of these teams. But I don't think either of us has forgiven Stephen F. Austin for backing out last year against the Cats. So I feel like we're both, regardless of who we think will actually win this game, we are both cheering for Abilene Christian.
No.
No.
we are cheering for Stephen F. Austin because we owe them an ass-kicking deluxe.
Okay, so you just want them to win this week so that they can be punished properly next week. I gotcha.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Yes. Vidlac is a former Grizzly, so would love to see a couple Kenny Iden sacks on him. Yeah, that's what happens when you're going to be a little B and run away from a team.
Mm-hmm.
You get matched up with them in the playoffs so they can beat you in front of a national audience.
Yeah.
That's how life works. That's how karma works.
That's what you're looking for.
Stephen F. Come to Bozeman.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't like Stephen F. Ben. I really don't. That was a soft move that they did pulling out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we ended up with Mercyhurst in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The only team that was able to schedule us. Nothing against Mercyhurst, but dude, that's a soft move.
Mm-hmm.
A soft move. I need Stephen F. Austin to come to Bozeman, and I want to punch him in the mouth. Bad. So
literally.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter what it doesn't. None of this statistics or anything or season or whatever doesn't really matter. Stephen F. has to win because they need to come to Bozeman for my own personal vendetta against them.
It's a solid choice. Solid choice. Weirdly, Abilene Christian, like we mentioned before, has already beat Stephen F. Austin this year, so they should be considered the favorite, even though they have a lower seed. This is a very weird matchup. I don't really feel any need to break it down at all because of what you just said and the reality that they're just going to face the Cats in a week, and that's when the game's going to really matter. The only reason to watch this game is to see who the Cats are going to play next week.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see how purple grass stains look on purple for when the Cats play them, this might be a good one to watch because there will be lots of grass stains on purple jerseys when the Cats are through with them.
This also kind of brings one of the bones I have to pick with the FCS right now, though. We have 4 different games all at noon.
Yes.
On Saturday. And so it's like if you care, well, three playoff games, 1 non-playoff game, all at noon. If you care about all these games and you want to watch them, can we just space it out a little bit more? We have a bunch of noon games, and then we have a game at 8 p.m. There's a big, huge gap right in between there. And scheduling-wise, it's like, come on, guys. I'm going to watch the entire Cats game, and so that means I'm going to barely watch Stephen F. Austin, ACU, and I'm going to barely watch South Dakota State and the Grizz, even though I want to watch all those games.
Yeah. Well, we have one more pick, and then we need to get more into that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
UC Davis, Rhode Island, Davis is going to beat them by like a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to think about Rhodey. It's tough to judge those teams that we feel like haven't played against anybody. I think this is kind of an interesting matchup, though. I think UC Davis ultimately does win this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, though. I think that Rhodey is going to show up and play a pretty serious game of football, but UC Davis is going to be able to handle business.
Oh, man, I don't see it, man. Davis is a pretty good team, and the only team, I mean, I feel like, if you look at their losses, like one of them is Idaho State, and I feel like Idaho State could beat Rhode Island, fairly easily.
I don't know. Idaho State had some bad games this year. I don't know if I believe in Idaho State the way you're believing in it.
I don't know. I don't believe in them. I just think that they might be better than Rhode Island. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like the Big Sky is better than. Yeah. I don't know.
It's not that I think they're good. I think that the other team is bad.
Yeah. I think Davis is going to spank Rhode Island and send them. I mean, how far of a trip is that? Holy crap.
That's a very long trip. Somebody put the map up on FCS Fans Nation, but they didn't put distances on it. But it's literally about as far as you can get apart in the United States.
I think there's There's only one town in Rhode Island, right?
No, well, there's two.
Joke.
There's two. Yeah.
But
One
still,
of them Peter Griffin lives in. That's all I know.
yes.
Don't know the
But
other one.
I mean, Rhode Island literally has to go all the way across the country. They're playing at 8 Mountain Time, which is 10 p.m. their time. It's going to be a long travel, late game. Davis is playing in their prime time. That's 7 o'clock their time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I feel like Davis is gonna. They got a point to prove. Plow is. We've said a number of times that Plow is a very good coach.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna,
very true. Very
I
true.
think they're gonna smoke it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going back to your gripe with the FCS, why is that the ESPN2 game?
Yeah, that is weird.
Why on earth is that the ESPN2 game?
Mm-hmm.
I have no explanation.
There are a lot more interesting games this week than that one. I think that I don't know. I can probably pick 3 games out of this that I'm more interested in than that game.
Yeah, South Dakota Mercer,
Mm-hmm.
North Dakota Tarleton State, South
Mhm,
Dakota
mhm.
Montana, all have more juice.
Yeah. And that's not even being biased. We're not even saying that the juice is coming from Montana State. We're just saying that there's better games out there for you to schedule, ESPN. There's better
Yeah,
games.
maybe not better teams, but maybe competitive matchups with actual fan bases.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not saying that Davis doesn't have a fan base and Rhode Island doesn't have a fan base, but I'm pretty sure that the viewership numbers are going to be like 16.
Yeah. ESPN doesn't want views. They're not about the views, okay? They're about putting the 2 bluest teams on the schedule against each other. That's it.
Fair. Fair. That does align with ESPN's agenda.
Mm-hmm. They definitely wanted to put 2 teams with blue colors up against each other.
We did miss one game, aside from the Bobcat game.
Mm-hmm.
South Dakota State, Montana. I want to hear your take on this one.
This one has developed a lot. I'll see you later, Eric. No worries, brother. This one has developed a lot over the last 2 weeks. As soon as the bracket came out, I was like, the Grizz kind of got screwed by the bracket committee because they got set up with a lose-lose situation playing against South Dakota State, with them having Chase Mason coming back. Also, like you said before, looking very, very good. That's a really tough draw. Like, they're the 3 seed, and I think that they have the toughest opponent of any seeded team. Do you think there's anybody else out there that's as good that's facing a seeded team right now? Because I really, really don't.
No, this is easily the best matchup with the best teams playing each other. I mean, honestly, this matchup should probably be happening next week.
Definitely. This is a fine quarterfinal matchup, but this is wild for it to be a matchup this week.
Yeah. I mean, how are you going to pick this one, Ben?
I'm in a really weird spot right now, Eric. I'm in a spot that I've never been at in my entire life. I have never felt this way, not even once. But I'm kind of cheering for the Grizz.
Oh, yeah.
For one reason, and one reason only.
You remember that South Park episode where they're forcing Stan to vote, and he has to vote between a giant douche and a turd sandwich?
Yes. Very familiar with it.
Does that seem like this? Like, you got to pick one. Do you want the giant douche or the turd sandwich? You label whichever team fits.
The thing is like, I kind of like South Dakota State. Like, I don't really have any major gripes with them. They're the only people that have beaten North Dakota State, which I don't like much more. And so they've dethroned them. I kind of feel some affinity towards them because they're the team in their rivalry that's always been little brother, and then they came up and had some good years and won some national championships. I kind of like that about them. But the situation where I'm kind of cheering for the Grizz this week comes from my wife said that I could go to the semifinals if the Grizz make it. So if it's the Grizz and the Cats for a double brawl, I get to go to the game. So now I'm like, the Grizz have to win. That's where I'm coming from.
I totally get that, man. Like, that's the cool thing about this game, because I do not care who wins this game. There is juice behind both of them.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Assume, the Cats are going to make it. So you can look at this one of two ways. The Brawl 2.0, or we have a chance to get our only FCS loss back.
Yeah. There's juice in every matchup that the Cats can run into. It's juice everywhere.
Yes. Yes, there is. I personally, as much as I would love another brawl, I'm going to this game no matter what. I don't care who's in it, but I would love to get that loss back when it actually matters.
Yeah, definitely.
Only because I was there for Gold Rush, and that sucked.
Yeah.
That sucked so bad.
Mm-hmm. It was not a fun night whatsoever.
Back.
Yeah. That is also a very good game.
Who do you now? You said who you want to win. Who do you think will win?
This is an even tougher question, Eric. Why are you hitting me with all the hardball questions tonight? This is supposed to be a nice, easy, fun fan podcast, and he's hitting me with the hard questions like who's actually going to win this game. South Dakota State looked very, very good. But the Grizz have also had some really good games this year. They have one loss only to our favorite team in the entire world. I kind of want to say that the Grizz win this thing just because everyone is picking against them. I think this is the most picked upset in all of FCS history, is people going SDSU is going to beat the Grizzlies. I think it's going on all over the place, and I think it's getting blown way out of proportion. When this playoff started and the seeding happened, I thought the big question was going to be how cohesive can South Dakota State be in 2 weeks? That seems like the major question, because this Montana team is very bonded together. They are playing together, and they have been playing well together for the entire season. Is South Dakota State going to be able to pull themselves together enough to beat a team that's put together that way? I think that's a tough call.
So you think Montana will get her done?
I think they do. I truly think they do.
I'm not as sold on Montana as you are.
Mm-hmm.
That defense has leaks, and they've been bailed out by their offense time and time again. I mean, but it is hard to pick against a team with Michael Wortham on them. I mean, not that South Dakota State doesn't have a lot of game film on him, but, Bobcats, the Big Sky sees what Wortham does on a week-in, week-out basis. The Missouri Valley doesn't care about Wortham all season long. They don't care.
They're not going to be as aware, that's for sure.
It is hard to pick against South Dakota State in the playoffs, even on a down year when they're finally getting healthy again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like almost their entire team will be back minus Ogroski.
Yeah.
And that is we've seen them. I've seen them with my own eyes, man. Chase Mason is legit. He is better than Ayat. There is no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
It is really, really hard. And I see why people are picking South Dakota State because, without all of their stars, they didn't have any depth, and they're not that good.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen them, man. When they are healthy, they are very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think the Grizzlies win this game too, though. Saying all that, I think it's close. but I do think that they're probably gonna win this game.
I was not expecting that whatsoever. Um,
I bet not.
yeah, we also haven't brought
I
up that the Grizz are the home team, and that does play a factor into this for sure. But
I don't think
I don't know.
it does, though. I
Really?
don't think it does. South Dakota State has to play in some obnoxious environments. Not saying it's
That is
Washington
very true.
Grizzly,
That is very
but
true.
they have to go to the Fargo Dome. They have to go to Grand Forks. They have to go to Vermilion, South Dakota, and all. Like, granted, it's not the same amount of fans, but it is just as loud and obnoxious in those domes as it is anywhere. At University of Montana. So
It's terrible when the
I'm
Grizz
not-
fans are yelling at you, but imagine if the Grizz fans were yelling at you with a Midwestern accent. So much worse.
I don't know. I can see South Dakota State winning this game. Either way, I do think this is the game that should be your ESPN2 game at 8 p.m.
Oh yeah, that seems like a no-brainer for sure.
Yeah. We've wasted enough time on everything but Bobcat football. Is
That
it
is
finally
very,
time
very
to talk
true.
about the one thing we actually care about?
I think we definitely should.
Cats by 28.
Cats by 28. That doesn't feel like the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm not mad about it. I think that the big story, everything I'm seeing online, like the rhetoric around this game right now is, oh, the Cats better not overlook Yale. The Cats better not overlook Yale. When in the history of Sir Brett Vegan III have we ever overlooked anyone ever?
Yeah.
He goes, okay, boys, we're playing against a turkey sandwich this week, but that turkey sandwich has mayo and mustard on both sides of the bread. It is a very good turkey sandwich that we are playing against this week. He can make a turkey sandwich sound like it's going to be an actual opponent. Like, they will be ready to play against Yale. Obviously, everyone has the game tape. They have a very good quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, but I don't believe in their defense at all. And looking at the highlights, like I said before, every play that they broke off for 50 or 60 yards, I was just looking at that like, Caden Dowler's going to smash that dude. Seth Johnson's going to smash that dude. They are going to get 15 yards on that play and not 50. Like, that's just the way the Cat defense plays.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Cat defense is that I don't think people understand until they actually watch a full Cats game.
Mm-hmm.
They just wear you down. Yeah, this game could be close shit. Maybe by halftime Cats might only be up by 10 points or so.
Yeah.
That is the game plan. That is how the Cats play football.
Mm-hmm.
They just wear you down until you are nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to rush 6 guys. They rush 4 guys and just let the secondary cook because it is the best secondary in the FCS. And I don't think that's a biased or like ridiculous opinion. I think it's that good.
Yeah. I just don't know that much about anybody else's secondary, to be real honest with you.
I mean, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they are the best in the FCS from the top to the bottom in that secondary. They don't give up gash plays. They don't get burnt. They hit. They don't care about getting hurt. They play hard. I don't know. But that's how I see this game going. And Yale's running back might be good, might be listed as a Walter Payton candidate and all this different stuff.
Might have a very confusing last name to say.
That's why I didn't say it.
Pitzenberger.
Yeah, I usually leave those up to you,
That's fine.
the English major. But I don't see any realm in this world where Yale is sniffing the Cats in the third quarter. I just don't.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going to be much of a thing. No.
I feel like Lamson is going to ball out. I feel like our offense is going to be kind of dunking on these dudes, to be totally honest with you. I mean, Youngstown did it. Yale's defense stepped up a little bit, but Youngstown has had zero defense all year long. They just never did. And the Cats have one of the best units in the entire league. So you try to make some juice here. I would hammer the point spread right now.
Yeah. I wonder what that's something we should bring up. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, 22.5, I think.
Ooh. That's a crazy point spread for a playoff game. But dude, I get it.
You say every game the Cats play, you say, "Oh, that's a crazy point spread."
I
say hammer the point spread.
I know.
What's the Cats' record on point spreads?
It's very good, but it's still crazy every week how many points they get against and in a playoff game, the fact that you get that many points is wild.
Dude, they've only not covered in the Mercyhurst, Oregon, and South Dakota State. Those are the only 3 games they haven't covered the point spread.
It's good. I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying these point spreads are ridiculous. Because that's saying you're gonna have a 4 touchdown win or a 4 score win in a playoff game. That shouldn't be the expectation.
But I think it's actually the reality. They are that much better. I don't have any faith in the Ivy League. I haven't, period. End of discussion. But Yale, I don't think it doesn't look like weather's going to be a factor at all.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stuff about the altitude and everything. They're going from 60 feet to 4,800 and change. I don't know if that's a big enough deal to really talk about too much.
We could be seeing a light snow game. That could be a factor.
That could be a factor, yeah.
It could be a little sloppy out there.
I just, Sean Howe has that defense in such a good rhythm. And if you go back and look at the Grizzly game, every, big play touchdown, there's 14 points, or I guess 12 points accounted for, a missed tackle. The defense was in the right place. The players are in the right place. That was against the Grizzlies. They're not going to miss those tackles against the Yale Bulldogs.
No, they are not. That is a fact. That is factual.
So, I don't think that Yale understands we have Taco Dowler to defend. Oh, we have, Julius Davis, Adam Jones, all these different guys that, 3 different tight ends that are catching passes. Dane Steele, Chris Long. I just don't think that they're going to understand what to do against the Bobcats, and I feel like this thing could snowball really, really fast.
Yeah, it feels like I keep talking over and over again about those different tiers and how you have to get into different levels when it comes to the FCS, and I don't think Yale has ever faced the top tier of the FCS.
No.
So I see exactly what you're saying.
And the other thing is, I don't think the Bobcats are going to have to blitz anybody to get to the quarterback. They're just going to keep shuffling those 4 guys, keeping them fresh. I could see a multi-pick game from the defense this time. If I had to guess, my guess would be Caden Dowler, because he's a freaking ball hawk. I feel like I'm going to guess Jace McMillan gets one here. I feel like he's due, and I feel like quarterback's just going to be kind of tossing up lame ducks the whole game because he's getting chased around by Kenny Iden and Hunter Parsons the whole game.
That could be the case. That very well could be the case. I would love to see a Carson Williams interception in this one, just because I love watching that man talk trash. That is it. I just want him to make big plays so I can see him chirping and just doing it, living his best life. That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah, Carson, that's a good point. I would love that too. That would be, I mean, could he plant our flag on our own logo? Is that tacky?
I would do it. I don't care.
That would be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's tacky. I don't know.
Probably. We would do a lot of things that we're not supposed to do.
Yeah, probably.
This is why I wasn't allowed to have Division I talent. I would have been a menace out there.
Yeah. I think the point spread's pretty safe on this one.
Mm.
Hopefully nobody's going to this game hoping for a real tight barn burner.
No, I don't think so. I think you just look to beat up on the elitist Ivy League. That's what I'm looking for in this game. That's where the juice is for me.
Yeah. Let's get a good some good practice reps in on this one, so we can really take it to Stephen F. next 2 weeks.
Vegan's not going to let the team overlook Yale, but as fans, we are overlooking Yale. Let's be real honest. We are definitely overlooking Yale. It's not a good look, but luckily, we aren't going to be playing the game this weekend, so we can do whatever we want.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Cats by 90.
Cats by 90. Anything else you want to tell the people before we let them go? We're about at that time.
No, I don't think so. That was a lot. That was a lot to get through.
Yeah.
But we made it.
That was a fast and furious hour-long podcast.
Let's go.
Let's
Rock
go.
and roll, baby.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this. Go ahead and follow us wherever you are listening to this at. Follow us on X and Instagram at CatsPod. Follow us on YouTube at The CatsPod. And we will catch you guys next week after another beautiful Catterday.
Adios.